What's going on, YouTube? It's been a very long time. My name's Hassan. Welcome back to my channel, Elite Mechanics. So I need to start off by apologizing to everybody. I know I've been MIA for a few months. I haven't posted any new content and kind of just disappeared. I've been really busy. I know it's no excuse, but it's the truth. I've been extremely busy. I got a lot of things going on, things that I hope to share with you in the near future. Anyways, I wanted to come back. It's a new year, do a new video. Today we're going to be diagnosing a very, very rough misfire on cold start on a Rolls-Royce Ghost. This is the N74 engine, which is found in all modern Rolls-Royces, from the Phantom 8, Cullinan, Ghost, Wraith, Dawn, etc. So we're going to not only diagnose this car and see why it's misfiring, what's going on, but we're also going to do the repairs. And you will be finding out with me live on camera. Well, at the time of this shooting, it'll be live. It'll be the first time for me seeing the faults as well. So you get a real raw look into what it takes to figure out these problems and rectify them. Other than that, let's get into it. So before we dive deep into the Rolls-Royce, I just wanted to share this beautiful car that I have in the shop as well. This is a prototype 512 TR. It was just purchased from a Bonham's auction in Scottsdale. Very gorgeous car. Pretty clean in the engine bay. Looks good. But it's a pretty clean and nice example of a 512 TR. Other than these shields, obviously. As you can tell, these are not factory shields, but most people don't know that, so I'm sure the previous owner didn't care. But yeah, just a pretty car. Figured I'd share it with you guys. You guys might like that. And then this is the car we're going to be diagnosing today. This is the Ghost that misfires really heavily. I think what I'm going to do is start it up so you guys can just hear how bad it is when it fires up. I do already have it connected to a battery charger. I got fender covers on already. And I have the engine cover off as a prerequisite to the work we're going to be doing. So the engine cover is over here on the bench. I also have ISTA pulled up so that we can dive in and see what's going on. But yeah, I think I'll do a sound clip of a startup. Dead cold. The car's been here overnight, so it's definitely cold. So it should sound like utter shit when I start it. So let's see. Well, naturally, it's actually kind of smooth. It's not perfectly smooth. I can still feel it shaking, but it's not nearly as rough as it was when the client first brought it in. I mean, it was just chugging and sputtering. So I guess that tells me it's intermittent. But as I'm standing here, or squatting here, filming this, I can actually smell the smell of rotten eggs coming out of this exhaust, because it is still misfiring. It does not sound good, or smell good. But let's give it a rev. Just a light one because the car is dead cold. But let's give it a light rev and see how it sounds. Check engine light is on. Okay, well, I gotta say, of course it's cooperating. But I do feel slight shaking in the car. But the first time I did this, it was very, very rough. Like super rough. So naturally, it's fine now. Hate when that happens. Alright, well, let's read the faults out, see what's going on. Alright, looks like we got a few faults here. Let's go ahead and display it, see what it shows. So you can see we have some misfires. It shows that we have a tank fill level too low, mixture too rich. These are all -1. So I'm focusing on these lean faults here. See these exhaust gas lean after catalytic converter, damaged exhaust gas after starting with the misfires, too rich. So we have a lot of faults on both banks. And I did notice something, so let me show you guys what I noticed right off the bat when I looked at this engine bay. So one of the things I noticed is this fuel sensor here, that's outdated, and there was an update, a new sensor that needs to be installed because these have a common prone failure. I actually have the new sensor in stock, and I'll show exactly what it looks like. So I actually have the new sensor here. You'll notice right away that this one is slim by comparison to the original one, which is a lot bulkier. This one also has a tapered end. When I pull this one out, I'll show you what it looks like. But basically what this is this is the rail pressure sensor. So this tells the DME what the rail pressure is for a proper injection, and it lets it know if it's, out of spec, lean, or too much pressure, and it adjusts accordingly, or flags faults. I stock a lot of common failure parts on these cars. I keep them on my shelves. This fuel line right here is notorious for leaking. One of the O-rings, the back one, gets it ends up swelling and ripping, and it starts puddling fuel here. So I keep these in stock. The high pressure pumps are a known failure point. I keep those in stock. The sensors, plugs, coils, so all the major things for misfires on this engine I pretty much stock at my shop because I work on so many of them, and it actually makes diagnosing a little bit easier. So if you see those faults, especially with the lean condition, check to see on an earlier Ghost if this has been done or not. So this Ghost is a 2012, and actually no, I think this is earlier. I think this might be an 11 or a 10. Let's find out. Let's see what year this thing is. It's a 10, actually, excuse me. 2010, so it has not been done. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and change this out. The procedure is very easy. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you something. The book and the manufacturer says they want you to change this whole line when you change it in conjunction with the sensor. Of just making sure this fixes the problem, I'm gonna go ahead and just install this and fill it up with some fuel, because it is pretty low right now, and then drive it, and if it does not misfire, I know we fixed the problem. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be it, but I could be wrong. It could have a bad plug or whatever, but because it's on multiple cylinders on both banks, I highly doubt it's a plug or a coil. And if it was on one bank, we could suspect the high pressure pump failing, but I'm confident this is going to be the fix. So let me go ahead and install this. It's very easy. You just pop this clip off, loosen this up, thread it out. Once I've done that, I will go ahead and show you guys what the bottom of the sensor looks like so you can see the difference. I went ahead and cleared all the faults. We should only have one fault left, which should be for the permanent SAE faults, which is basically you have to do what's called a healing process. So you drive the car checks to see if the problem is actually fixed, and then this will go away on its own. Or you can basically put it into a mode. You can tell it that you fixed it, and then it'll check it even faster. But this will go away on its own if the misfiring goes away. But yeah, I cleared the faults just to make sure that our repair is good. And I want the light to set back on, obviously, but I'll feel it. If it starts misfiring again, I'll be able to feel it, and I'll know right away we got something else still going on. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is remove this connector. I use a pocket screwdriver and just kind of lightly lift and pull. It comes out. These sensors are two different sizes. The old style, like this brass one, is going to be a 24, and the new one will be a 27. And you have to remember, you want to bleed the fuel pressure from the system if it had been running recently before you just go crazy and unscrew it. You're going to spray fuel everywhere. So we just want to lightly crack this. Let that fuel pressure bleed down a little bit. You can see it kind of squirting. I'll get a rag. That should be it there. Now let's go to the bench and compare. So here's the old one. You can see it's kind of flat. It's got an O-ring. I have a new style one in stock, which looks like this. You'll notice when I get inside the bag here, the new style has a taper to it, no O-ring, and it's much larger. It's a 27mm fastener. So this is the upgrade. This is the Bosch that Rolls-Royce recommends you change to if you have this. Now, it is usually recommended. It's usually recommended that you change the complete fuel line, because this old style one here is not deep enough for the taper to seat. So if you put it in without changing the line, chances are you'll pull the threads out, and you don't want to do that. So I have a whole new line, and it comes with the new sensor ready to go. So I'm going to install this. This is the complete line sensor, everything from the factory. And yeah, most of them have been done, but the ones that are still lingering. So like these sensors that I keep on hand, I will change if they fail on a newer setup that's already been changed. But if it has just this, I change the complete line and the sensor as a unit, because the line design has changed as well to accommodate the taper fitting for this. Because like you saw, this one has an O-ring and it's flat. This one has no O-ring and it's tapered. So let's go ahead and change that line. Alright, in order to change the line, you have to do some work first to get to it. So we're going to remove this cowl here, this support bar. I mean, you know, maybe I'll just sneak it out. I mean, I should show you guys the right way to do things, which would be to remove this stuff, but we could do it without removing any of it, really. I could just pull the air box up and change the line out. So, you know what, let's just do it that way. Let's save us some time. start by removing this bracket here. Now, if these haven't been molested, these will be encapsulated. They won't come off, but if they've been molested in the past, then they will come out. Like this one came out. It shouldn't. It should stay with the bracket. It happens. These cars are starting to age a little bit, getting a little older. Same with the airbox lid. They shouldn't come out. They should be capped. I can already tell someone's done some work in here because the clamp for the throttle body here, I don't know if you can see this, but that clamp is not factory. Someone's changed that. The bolt head's too big, so that's been changed. So this car's been apart. Now this airbox, you see this sand here? If you're not careful when you remove this, this sand will go right into the turbos. Because we're going to unhook this airbox, and when you pull it up and out, all that will just drop right into the turbo, and that's obviously not a good thing. So what I do is I vacuum these airboxes out before I undo them. Now you hit these 10s to let it go, undo the MAF, and get this little tiny guy down here. He's very hard to see, but there's a little clamp. Oh wow, that's all chewed up. That's great. Of course, that's pretty stripped out. Yeah, I usually use a swivel and just hit that pretty easy, but this car's been hacked up. Alright, that means I'm going to need a really long flathead, probably. Like this. And then try and sneak it through here to loosen it up. Alright. And next we'll hit these 10s. You know what? I don't want to use a mid length, I'm going to use a swivel. Okay, now that we got the two 10s out, we have to remember we still have the mass airflow sensor connector. I didn't forget about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure there's these tabs for the snorkel. This one looks broken. That one looks broken. Like I said, the previous technician who worked on this car was a real masterpiece. So we don't have to worry about. Usually you put a screwdriver in here and just lightly pull the tabs back and slide it out. It comes up and out. But clearly I don't need to worry about that because someone's already destroyed this thing. So I put my hand in here, pull it up, and slide. And it looks like that tube's stuck on there, so we're going to have to just kind of work it out. There it goes. Okay, sometimes these things can get really stuck. Just depends. Let's go ahead and undo the mass airflow sensor. And there's the lower portion of the airbox. You can see someone chewed this thing up pretty good. Alright, I like to use a tennis ball to just plug this hole up so that while I'm working nothing gets in there. These are also another notorious leak. There's two O-rings in here and this back one will tear and it'll leak fuel. I keep these in stock as well. Yeah, I got two of them here. Yeah, these guys. Now that we have made some space, the rest of this is pretty easy. We're going to crack the lines so you can see one comes here, the two 10s here, and then it comes down to this junction and connects to this. So we can start by removing this. And this one doesn't even have its lock. You see this gray tab here? That's a lock, so you can't accidentally slide it back. This is missing, amongst other things. Alright. Got that out of the way. And then these are going to be, I think, 17s. So we'll crack this guy. And this one here. Okay, undo this tab that holds the separator pipe on. The evap. Woo! That was tight. Alright, now we just have these two 10s and this guy right here. And we should have one more at the bottom. Now do keep in mind I've been working with fuel. These are electric tools, so if you're not careful and you have, you know, fumes, the arc of the tool could end up causing a fire. So just be mindful of that. That is a possibility if you're not extra careful.
I'm gonna have a vehicle to Adam's account.
I'll show you in a second.
Feeling finally came, or?
Yeah. Say hi to everyone on YouTube.
Hello. Hope everyone's having a good day.
Me too. Yeah, it's almost out. I just have one more bolt down here. It's a pain in the ass. Alright, let me pause this and I'll show you. Sorry about that. Over here I do it all. I do the work, I do the service writing, I order parts. I have a lot of job duties, but I'm always happy to help. I have to remove this pipe, which is not fun, because chances are it'll break. This could be really finicky. I'm gonna need both hands. Oh, come on. If I try and snake past the pipe, I'm gonna break it. It's possible, but I don't want to take the risk. I'd rather just unfasten the pipe completely. It's just such a pain in the ass. You know what? I'm gonna use a pick to get this done. And what I'll do, I'm gonna go in and lift the tab with the pick, one end up. Should be it. Now it's just the O-ring, I think, holding it in. Just half the battle is getting the O-ring free. Ah, man. Not cooperating today. There we go. Alright. Alright, with this now, a lot more flexible. It's much easier to hit this 10 mil on this bracket right there. It's a direct shot. At this point, I'm actually going to use a magnetic socket because the chances are that's going to fall deep into the abyss and I'll never see it again. And I want to put every fastener I took off back. So I'll use these magnetic sockets here. Swivel. And this should be a good combination. You can see this has a magnet in there. Locking extension. That should prevent me from losing the fastener into the abyss as I remove it in this delicate spot. And just like that, I'm able to maintain it. Now we need to work this line out. I'm going to remove this one too to give me enough play to slide this by. Might be easier just to remove the high pressure pump. Sometimes I get them right out. They slide right out. Oh, there it goes. But the last thing I want to do is bend the shit out of one of these. That will not end well. That's the last thing you want to do. There it is. The old line's out. Now let's start the install, the reverse process of what we just did. Snake this down. Get this. That. What I like to do is make sure the taper sits in. Put that on. It's lined up. That's lined up. This should plug in nicely. Butter. And start putting fasteners back in the brackets. Here we go with the phone again. Hello? the ass right here. Okay, let's do it this way. This flashlight's junk, man. It's so hard to use sometimes. You don't want to over tighten any of these bolts. It's kind of snug. Fuel line's nice and complete there. Let's get this guy on right here. No, that was a mistake. I should have put this on first. I gotta loosen everything up now. I thought I had put them all on already. That one just snuck past me, I guess. Forgot. There we go. No big deal. Alright. Everything's secure. Let's go ahead and snug all these up. Alright, basically everything else is just the reverse of how we removed it. We're going to slide the air box back in, tighten up that clamp, put the snorkel in, tighten down the top bolts, put the MAF in. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to take this GoPro off my head because it's very uncomfortable and it's a little warm in here. I want to turn the fan on and then I want you guys to hear all that wind noise. So let me just wrap this back up and then I'll be back. We'll start it up and see how she sounds. Alright, so we're all back together. I've already opened the door a few times to prime the low pressure side of the fuel system. I don't see any leaks, I don't smell any fuel. So this is all good. When we start it up, we'll check the high side. I'm going to go ahead and put you guys by the exhaust again and start the car up and we'll see how she runs. Well, good news, buttery smooth. Starts up, I mean, obviously the first time we started it up when it was not smooth, it didn't make the atrocious noises it used to make or it had made in the past, but I could feel it shaking in the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel is perfectly smooth, there's no vibration, the check engine light isn't flashing, so I was pretty confident this was the problem, and I'm going to take it for a road test obviously and verify the repair. Put some fuel in it too, looks like it's almost out of fuel now, and then I'll report back. We'll scan the fault codes after a road test. Alright, we went for a test drive, car's warm, and you can see the smoothness values are all zeros. That's very good. That's on bank 1, and let me show you bank 2. Here's bank 2, and again, all zeros, running very smooth. Fix is confirmed. So, she's ready to go. I'm going to recommend some repairs as well. This car, I wouldn't mind doing plugs, coils, air filters, some just basic service, but that's up for the owner to decide if they want to do all that. But the Misfire that it came in for is repaired, so we'll see where it goes from there. If they do say, hey, yeah, go ahead and do plugs and coils, I know it's redundant, I already took that apart, whatever, but I might make a video showing you guys how to do plugs and coils on the same vehicle. Although this is not ideal because this car's been butchered a little bit in the past. I'd like to do something that's been taken care of or more virgin to show you guys how to do the job so you can see what it's like with all factory you know parts, clamps, stuff like that, clips. But whatever, you'll get the gist of it and you'll be able to knock out plugs and coils on your own if I make a video for you, regardless of the condition of the car. But yeah, that's it. Looks like it's fixed. Thank you for watching my video. I'm going to try and be more consistent. I might disappear for a while again. I'm going to try to get videos done, but I got a lot going on. But once my big thing that I told you about in the beginning of this video happens, that I hope to share with you guys, I'll be able to stay a lot more consistent with content and uploads. Just a lot of changes happening right now. That's all. More to come. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you later.